Hi, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us today. Today, we have a very emotional story to tell, which we think will really benefit everyone. Dr. Brie has agreed to share some of her personal journey, which has been hidden for many years. But I do want to say one thing as we open up. This is a journey because we're talking about what's happened to Dr. Brie, but these things happen and these events have happened and do continue to happen to men as well as women. So as you listen to her journey today, understand that there are many going through, and we're helping her move from sort of fear to freedom, if you will. And we hope that this helps everyone move into a better place of peace and freedom. So with that, Dr. Bree, join your story. And if you don't mind, I'll pop in and ask a few questions here and there that I jotted down.
That's fine.
Okay.
Um, I met a man through when I was in my early 20s. Met him through a friend of mine. Got married when I was 26 to him. He was in the Navy. And at that time, I didn't have all the abilities I have now, to honestly say this. I had abilities, but not to strength I carry. Um, I married that man not long after I met him. And the first 6 months was great. About 8 months later, I had a hysterectomy. You know what? I want to start from something different here. Just keep the film rolling. I don't care about this one. What motivated me to bring this story out is somebody violated my own personal space. This person had no right to do a background check on me and contact that family that I ran from. I know who they talked to find out about me. And a dear friend of mine asked me questions. And I went, do you know what he has just done to me? Because I thought, I have to run again and hide. Well, that night, next day, I was getting ready to leave. And I was getting a hold of our friend Carrie to find a place where I could move to. Didn't know where. I didn't care. And this house was given to me by my mother, which meant everything to me. But my personal safety was more important. So this friend and I were talking the next day on who did this to me and the reason why it was done. That I'll leave between my friend and I and his people. I'll leave it that way. I didn't apply for a job, nothing. And he could have put my life in serious danger. So what I'll say now is, next morning I have feeling to Google my ex-husband. Guess what? April 2nd, 2025, he died. His mother was dead. His father was dead. The fairies gone. They're off the planet. I can breathe again. And now I can tell my story without fear, without having to move, without having to hide anymore.
But you didn't know that at the time. And
No,
so it brought that massive amount of fear out. Okay, because I know you were very panicked when you called me.
yes,
I've never seen you that panicked.
no. This man, like I said, married to him about 6 months and had a radical hysterectomy. I was in the hospital 5 days. Came home and stitches from hip to hip. And he raped me. And that's when the physical abuse started. I was threatened if I told anybody. I was threatened by so many things about him through the years. The physical and the emotional abuse I went through with him, no man or woman should ever go through. Well, it took a total of 10 years of marriage and 3 years to get a divorce from him. And when I went into court and sat with the judge and everything, he gave me a lifetime restraining order. When I left, his lawyer actually called me to apologize for not for believing him, his pack of lies. And I was grateful for that. And I left again, so he couldn't find me. I moved to another state. Then I moved to another state because he kept finding me. And even in my second marriage, he tried to torment me in any way he could. You know, back then we didn't have Facebook, we had MySpace, which is equal to Facebook. And he got hold of over 800 friends of mine and people that I know, and started again. So my life I've hid as much as I could. And the psychological issue he had, I will not bring up. He did not take medication for it. It was military induced, I will tell you that. His life was not easy. This is before I met him. I didn't know any of this, right? But the only thing that held me together was my spirituality through all these years. I'm 66 years old and I'm just finding out he's finally gone. I talked to my guide about this. I wanted to find out why I married this man. You know, everything is in the spiritual blueprint we have in our head, right?
Mhm.
Sometimes we go off the blueprint and we do things that aren't in there. And I found out, yes, it was in my spiritual blueprint to marry him. And I asked why. And then without even waiting for the answer, it was so I could recognize evil and the darkness in this world to do the journey I'm here to do. Then I questioned about his mom and dad. I wanted to know why they were so evil to me, and the whole family was, right? They thought I was stuck up, a snob. I come from a different type of family than he was. I wanted a normal life. Huh. The way it's explained to me that, you know how wolves run in a pack?
Mhm.
Well, evil runs in a pack.
Mhm.
So if you're a light being in a pack of evil, you're trying to survive the whole time.
Mhm.
I know people that are around groups of people that are in the darkness, and the people are trying to survive to get out of there and away from them all,
Mhm.
even though it's a different situation. This is tough, Teresa. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is why it's so hard to sort of be sometimes where you feel like a lone light and you're surrounded by so much darkness. What did you do? How did you cope with all that? I mean, how did you pick up the pieces and just keep moving?
Every time something would happen,
Mm-hmm.
um, I would just go into my spiritual world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was on medication from a doctor. You know, I had hurt my back, in my early 30s. And the doctor diagnosed me with something I didn't have.
Mm.
And I fractured my L4 real bad, where I couldn't walk for a while. And so I over medicated,
Mhm.
and the medication made me so out of it that I didn't care. I didn't have to feel that pain. And that's in between my first and second marriage.
Okay.
Then I got some help. The creator got me some help. I'll just say it that way. In the best way he could. And I got off all that medication. And it actually saved my life, the situation I went through. And that I'm gonna leave it a little private right now. I was instructed by the creator and my guide not to speak about that part. Which is going to be in the book, in my book anyway, and all this other stuff, but it doesn't matter. It's in there, but not right now. He said leave that for later. But saved my life. And then I met my second husband, Kelly, and told him everything. And being Special Forces retired, yeah, he was able to keep me pretty protected. Maybe not from the verbal stuff, the online attacks, the phone calls. We did whatever we could to keep me protected. He did a great job. So I just kept going. I delved myself into finding out everything about me on my spiritual life, who I was and am. That was my saving grace. Knowing that I was a goddess, knowing why I'm here to evolve humanity, knowing to teach people. It was like I was able to take the human part of me and push it away and stay in my spiritual life only was my safety. So did I really live as a human? Not really. I walked in this body at 3. But that was my safety, was to stay there. Not talk about it. You know, I've met several people that have committed crimes and they've changed their names. They've done all sorts of stuff. I won't do that. But there's a gentleman I'm really impressed with that came to my office, remember, at Crystal Voice, said, I'm trying to talk to somebody here, but they found out I'm in prison. Nobody will talk to me. Come in my office. Big, huge black guy. I'm 5 foot, right? He goes, I said, come on in, let's shut the door. So what can I help you with? He goes, well, I belong to this major gang group. He did here in Washington. Did 20 years in prison for selling meth. And he wanted to talk to somebody because he wanted to learn how to take his experience to help others. He wanted to help children. That man is thriving. And he told me a lot about himself. And I told him some things about myself. And now he's been working with children ever since. And that was, gosh, 8 years ago, I think you said.
Probably, yeah.
And I'm so proud of him. But if it wasn't for some of the experiences I went through, I couldn't have helped him or any of my clients. There's no room for judgment in our business. We don't have that right. The only one that can judge us is the creator for our actions. So let me get back to the story about him and the fear that I had to live with. It interrupted my life, interrupted my dignity, interrupted everything about me. And I was able to put it away in the back of my mind because things had been so safe, except for the psychic attacks I go through all the time, right? That I thought it'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one day I was coming out of my nail shop, a salon, and I could feel something that was so wrong. So wrong. I come home and I tell the conduit and my guys, something's really off. Something dark is around me. There can't be. Huh. It jumped from my body into the conduit's body. Wrong body to jump into. Even after death, a physical death, he was able to find me. Well, our creator found him, took him where he needs to be, where he'll never be able to hurt somebody again. And not even the dark creator can get him out. Now, a lot of people don't understand dark creator. What do you mean by that? It's duality. Light creator, dark creator. Light goddess, dark goddesses. Dark angels, light angels. So it had to be played that way. I'm sorry, I'm maybe jumping to everything back and forth. Teresa, is there any question you want to ask me? I'm nervous about this whole thing.
No, I think you touched us briefly on an event that caused all of this to sort of break open,
Mm-hmm.
and that's because somebody did a background check on you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I didn't know people could just go do a background check on you.
They're not supposed to
How does
unless you
that, I
apply
mean,
for it.
how does that work and what happened there
Well, my computer
exactly?
got hacked. Let me just tell you that first of all.
Okay,
And you know how we scan our driver's licenses and scan our social
sure.
security
We
cards?
put all
Well,
that
it was
data
all
digitally.
right there.
Yeah.
But this person went so far to talk to that family members. Way out of line. Way out of line. Where somebody that I trust very much was confused and thought I was living by two different identities.
Oh, used it against you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when I explained, I'm Brianne. I walked in this body. My middle name starts with an H. Well, it was my first name, that was my middle name. I just switched the names around. That's all I did. All legal, right?
Mhm. Okay.
But my ex didn't know I did that.
It was part of your hiding, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Okay. Not uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Gibbs is was my married last name.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so my name's all legal, but it was my way to hide without changing a whole name about me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to stay safe,
Mm-hmm.
but that was some terrifying that night when it all came out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a sense of freedom, but is there a residue effect? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having to learn to handle it in another way. It's like I can't jump for joy and say I'm free yet because it's still here now. And now I have to heal the cellular memory, the emotions, the physical, the emotional, mental, spiritual part of me now. And I'm lucky that I have good friends like you and
Mm-hmm.
my guides and others that can help me. You're about the only one I talk to about it, but
Mm-hmm.
today it's coming out.
Well, I think it's helpful. You talk a lot about the spiritual blueprint and things that happen to people. Um, And for those that maybe don't understand that, we all have a spiritual blueprint that we come in with.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a plethora of things, what we would call good and bad, that go on in these blueprints. And hence the need to not judge, because so often is what your whole life has been like, and parts
Yeah.
of mine, you go through these very traumatic events to teach you, to show you things, to learn so that you can either recover from some or move on to teach and help others. That I think is so important of a lot of your journey.
Mm-hmm.
You're all that I've known of you, and I know of quite a bit of your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's all to prepare you for where we're at today.
Correct.
And it is hard and it's very emotional. And there is a great deal of healing that has to come from that. But the more we can not judge each other and the more we can allow people to come forward and speak their stories, because there are a lot of other famous personalities that have a similar background to you have, that
Right.
are speaking out and want to help and share their story. But it's very freeing, but it's also very helping for all of us.
Right. The thing is it affected another person that I care deeply about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, no one can take my memories away or the joy he brought into my life.
I think when you are a victim of someone trying to control you so much and other people, it's about control. That's what so much of this is about. And I'll just say it's just wrong to control people
What they
to
did,
such a degree is so violating.
it was all over something.
Yeah, silly things. I mean,
Hang on a minute. I don't care anymore. Truth is truth.
yeah.
It's all over all this evidence I have against two people.
Oh, you're talking your fraud cases, right?
Yes,
Yes, yes.
that I was defrauded on. Somebody
Right.
pretended to be my friend and acted as him, knew everything about him.
Mm-hmm.
And in this envelope, the first envelope that came, and you remember this, was an $8,000 check that was supposed to be from him that was fraudulent, that froze my bank account.
Mm-hmm.
I'll not say who. I'm not that stupid to put it on air or in a tape. But you know what? If they would have just left me alone
Mm-hmm.
and him alone, none of this would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But they were afraid, so afraid for their own self. They didn't care about my safety.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care about what they did to other people. And that's what evil does.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I have those flowers sitting here
Mm-hmm.
for a reason. They're from my friend. And I can't explain the depth of damage they've caused. But it's not for me to have revenge. The Creator will take care of it from here. I have his word on that. Why did they have to go so far?
Mm-hmm.
I ran for my life for an ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
I gave and gave and gave, not wanting nothing in return, which you know about truth to everything, not expecting anything back. And then they went this far. All because of a pile of junk.
Mm-hmm.
to protect their own asses. They put my life in danger, I thought again.
Mhm.
I thought I was going to have to hide again and run. I wouldn't have gotten off the air. I'd just been living somewhere else real quick.
Mhm.
I didn't know what to do, where to go that night. And yes, I'm angry. I'm angry what they've done. And so right now, I have a right to speak my truth. And I'm coming from my heart. And I'm coming from the goddess I am. Here's the thing. There are many spiritual people out there that are not connected the way I am to the creator and to the light, being an entwined goddess. I'm the only entwined goddess on the planet. But we're in the great shift of consciousness right now. And if you don't know what that means, we're fighting evil like crazy so we can shift into a new dimension of love. And what do we have to do first, Teresa?
We have
Shrink.
to understand what we're seeing and the truth of what does it look like. You can't change something if you don't know what's going on.
No, you can't. So now I don't have to hide anymore about this crap. It's being taken care of by the creator, though, not even by me now. I
Well,
was told what I'm supposed to do with the stuff, and I will
as
do what the creator told me
right,
to do.
as you said earlier, revenge does not belong to us.
No,
Our job here is to help each other and shine our light.
that's very true. The one thing I want to say is I never expected that to ever come out about my ex-husband.
Mhm.
I've lived with it. I have the inner scars and the outer scars from it. But he'll never be able to hurt anybody again. Here's the thing that people don't understand. When a person leaves this planet, they die. Let's say physical death, right?
Mhm.
They're either of the dark or the light. They go back to whatever side they came from. It's going to be their choice what side. It's not their choice. If they don't get out of it,
Mhm.
if they're in the dark, then go back to dark. But I'm lucky to have witnessed somebody leave that darkness and get into the light. And it was not easy. It's not just creator forgive me for what I've done. That's not how it works. It took a lot for that man to get into the light. That's all I will say, because I will not give out secrets of our light. He did not deserve this. I did not deserve this. You do not deserve the repercussions of this. But the whole thing is all they did was make me stronger in my light.
Mhm.
And do I regret it that this came forward? No, because I got peace at the end.
Mhm.
That man and his mom and dad can't touch me again.
Or anyone else,
No,
but they may have put
right.
someone through that maybe
No,
you don't know about. Right.
their dark energy, souls, whatever you want to call them, is put away where, like I said, not even dark creator can get them.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna do a show on that actually. How do we have one creator on one side, one creator on the other side, a goddess like me on this side, and a goddess like me on the other side. But it's
Right.
like it says duality.
Mhm.
Um, but there's a lot that I will be bringing out.
Yeah.
But this story I want to tell you. took me from fear to freedom. And yes, every minute, I'm going minute by minute right now. Can I really eat? No. Am I drinking water? Yes. Do I try to eat? Yes. Um,
Freedom is always a gift, and sometimes it takes a lot of time to pass before you can realize the value of the gift, the significance of it as you're going through the painful process of it. It's just very hard. Like you said, it's minute by minute, to come through it. But it makes you stronger.
it did.
And staying in our light is helping people.
And
Stay in your light day to day, just helping people every day.
so right now, because of how this all happened,
Right.
and the people that did this,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on 24-hour supervision of security.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not able to leave my home right now.
Right.
And if they wouldn't have played a full game and be an imposter to my friend, this wouldn't happen in the first place.
Do you feel like this is going on in many other places too?
Oh, yes.
I feel like it's worldwide, and people are not coming forward. They're afraid to come forward. They don't understand how it all happened or to put the pieces together
Right.
as you've been able to do. So I think sharing your story is well, it's just going to help people
You know, I
find
have
their peace.
I have friends in the music industry,
Mm-hmm.
and one's been very vocal about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't send Apple cards. Don't send this. You
Right.
don't get backstage passes. We don't sell them. Nashville doesn't do that stuff.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of
Uh,
people don't know that those things
right.
to
And
provide that environment.
I saw one woman that said, I have the $2,000 Apple card.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't cost $2,000 for VIP seating at these concerts.
Well, mm-hmm.
No. Um, I have reached out to a couple of them since this happened.
Mm-hmm.
They're willing to come forward and talk if I need help. Yeah. Um, I just need to be me.
Yeah. Finding the
That
courage
life
to
is way
speak up.
behind me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember getting my radio broadcasting license and being a DJ, and a promoter got a hold of me out of Seattle and asked me if like to learn promotions. I was like 22, 23, still in college too. I was like, no. And Nashville put on this big event. It was called Marlboro Country. The judges were there. Um, gosh, I forget who was all there.
Quite a
Anyway,
list.
it was, and I was just trained. It wasn't my concert or his concert. He just knew the people. So I said, let's just go. I want you to meet some people. You're really good at what you do. I went, okay. Oh, I was nervous. Early 80s, and as a broadcaster, I wasn't nervous, right? But as learning promotions and getting to know these people, right? So I went up, and the one guy was a drummer from a certain band, I'll just say, and he goes, loosen up. We're not gonna bite you, you know. And, how nervous you are when you're first training to learn something. It's the first concert as I've been to concerts, but I mean, as a concert, learning promotions, right? And we were dancing around being silly, and I fell off a stage. The thing is this family knew about the story from my ex, and asked did that happen. happen. Yes, it did. But when he asked me, after I found that I guess they had talked to him or whatever, right? Me thinking that, right? Can you remember the year? At the time, I couldn't remember. I said, that was so long ago, I can't remember. I was just so frantic. I thought, that man's going to find me again. You don't know what he's just done. I mean, I was talking on my phone. None of it made sense what was coming out of me. It was all voice texting, right? And, but now that I think about it and thought about the last few days, I'm actually glad it came to light because I would not have found out they were no longer on the planet
Right.
and they
So
can't
you
hurt
found a
anybody
gift.
again.
You found a
So there's,
gift for yourself. Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead and trash me all you want. I don't
Mhm.
care about people's opinions.
Mhm.
Um, this gentleman went so far to say, "No, this is a good one." This is the only part I can laugh about. Have I ever done any? I'm gonna say it this way: inappropriate videos.
You?
Or said any inappropriate,
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Mhm.
Threatened to leak it, right? And during the time I'm crying and shaking and having the fit, and I could barely hold my phone, so I had to speak in my phone, right? You know the laughing smile with the tears coming down
Mhm.
the face? That's all I could do. Well, if something comes out, it's going to be AI because there's
Oh
nothing
yeah.
out there of me like that
No.
ever, even as a kid.
Mhm.
Are you kidding? My mother would have killed me.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here today if you just
No,
said that.
no.
Dear
And my
mother.
mother was so nosy, for a long time that she knew everything I was doing anyway. No, there's nothing out there like that. And I even went to check, like, did I do this in a past life? Nope, I didn't do nothing like that. So, which is really good.
Well, it just pinpoints your story. So much misinformation that's out there too, and
Right,
information that is being used to harm people. And it's just all aspects of a darker energy,
right.
right? And it's in front of all our faces these days for us to see it, to understand it, and go, make a choice whether you're going to be part of it or not part of it. It's always
So,
best to stand in your light and help others.
this evidence here
Mm-hmm.
is being boxed up and sent to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I dare anybody to get involved in that one. And I know that doesn't sound nice, but evil needs to stay away from this package. And you can call them darker energies. You can say dark aspects, but evil is evil and light is light.
Mm-hmm.
The sad thing is, I don't know if I'll ever hear from my friend again. I'm blocked from everything they did. And
Well, the light has a way of shining through.
I just will always have my memories.
Yes. Yeah.
And when I care about someone and love someone, I will go to depths to help them. So, all of you that are seeing this today, it's raw and it's not polished. I'm just me, being my true authentic self. I'm not going to name the person, but I would like you to pray for a friend of mine that needs help and to get through this darkness that this person's going through. And that's all I want to say. I want you to say, Creator, I'm praying for Goddess Bree's friend to help. Give that person the help that this person needs. That's what I ask my listeners to do. Please do not get involved in it. Do not try to find out who, what, where, and when. The creator's got it handled. Just pray for this person, Brie.
Mhm.
I'm totally going to be okay. I'll be back on the air on the 17th, like normal. And I'll probably talk more about this, but not this dramatic. I don't know why they decided to do this to me. I have no idea why. But how desperate they got, I know why. Because what's all what I threw on my desk. And if they just would have left me alone, none of this would be happening to any of us right now. So he didn't destroy me, guys. He didn't destroy my company. He didn't scare me off the air. He didn't scare me by threatening you're going to tell people about my past. Because you know what? Here's the thing. You don't know. I talk about my past with my clients. I talk about it on the air. This one thing you deliberately took away from me to talk about myself. Nobody deserves to be emotionally destroyed, emotionally raped out of vengeance. You had no right. And you had no right to hurt my friend either because you don't like something, because you're afraid of getting caught. I'm sorry, Teresa. I'm so mad right now.
Well, you have every right to feel the
Damn.
way that you feel.
The one thing is with me, you can't break a bond. So whether I don't ever see him again, here's the thing, I traveled through worlds. I'll be able to check on him. I can talk to the creator. I can talk to his angels. I can talk to his guide. Because Teresa, you know who I truly am.
Mhm.
I can make sure he's fine. And if he's not, he's on the side of light now. He's got the whole team of the creator. He's on the creator's team. The light creator, by the way. He'll be watched and protected. And I will be watched and protected. But you didn't have to go this far to make me come out with a story. But in the other words, I want to thank you because I'm free of that evil man and his family now, except for the two that's still living on the planet. We can't take them there until they die. I'm sorry, Teresa.
No, don't be sorry. I would say maybe an ending that love can never die.
Yeah.
It can't be destroyed. There are so many forms of love.
Hmm?
And we'll talk more about this, I know, in shows to come. It's not a romantic love we talk about here. It's just decency and love of each other as human beings.
And spiritual love is much
Yes,
deeper than
absolutely. It's
romantic love.
totally different. And it's you cannot break those bonds. And when you have that, what did one wonderful goddess once tell us? There is nothing more or nothing less that you will need. Because love is your
Kaziera.
solution to everything. And it truly is. So thank you for sharing the story. I know it's hard to share that. And I know you'll talk more in bits and pieces about it to help, to continue to help people that are going through this or have gone through it and have yet to release any of the pain and the deep emotional trauma that they're living with, both men
Yeah.
and women. So thank
Then
you
I
for
want I
sharing
want to
that.
clue in this on
Mhm.
that real quick about men.
Yeah.
Men, I'm here for you.
Mhm.
I'm a divine female, a divine masculine, man, woman, whatever you want to say. But if you had these problems, and just go to my website, hit a time on my website and get a hold of me. Type what you want to talk to me about, and I'll talk to you. I don't want you to feel you're alone because men get tormented just the same as women do. men, men will not talk about. They're supposed to be this big, strong guy and man, guy, whatever you want to say, and they have nowhere to go sometimes. If they try to talk to a friend, ha ha ha, you let some woman do that to you. Well, you don't know how crazy that woman might have been, or she came from the evil side, either dark side, whatever. So that's why I said the goddess emerges is not just about women. The goddess light is in men and women, no matter what. Even the creator carries it in him.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ carries God's light. Merlin carries God's light. Uh, Ashtar carries God's light. Saint Germain carries the God's light.
Buddha
I mean, I
carried
go
it.
on and on with all the masters. They all
Yeah.
carry the God's light in them.
Mhm.
And why do you think that is, Teresa?
We're divine beings and we have choices. And we all have the divine feminine, the divine masculine energy in us. And it's how we choose to show that light
The
or
first
dim it.
goddess, right? The first goddess of creation,
Right.
before all the children, humanity was born,
Mhm.
brought the God's light in
Right.
with
And,
creator.
and it's been carried forth ever
Mhm.
since.
And she will never be known. And you know what I do know about my life and the children and that I give birth to and my lineage from lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. All the children are remarkable in their own way. And the one thing I did find out, all my children are of the light. They may have slid off their path. We all do.
Mhm.
And you get right back onto your blueprint, slid off the blueprint, right back on. But I'll tell you this, no one will ever take my security away from me anymore. So they didn't win. They made a mad goddess, though. A very upset goddess.
Mhm.
I want to so open this envelope and show you all, but I can't do that. That's just wrong. Um, or take the picture of the person that actually.
No, you can't do that.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Let me spread. You know how you get those things in your that shows you like who's getting the text of you right there.
Mhm.
Okay, here we go. That FaceTime me.
Mhm.
That was good
Mhm.
because I found out who that person was. And now maybe he won't be able to do this to nobody else again either.
Well, isn't that the value too?
Yeah.
Right.
And so it wasn't about getting my money back. You know what it was about?
Mhm.
But just getting the truth and leave me alone.
Mhm.
Not my friend, the people involved in this.
Mhm.
I don't want no money back from them. Because here, you want another reason I don't want the money back from them?
Why?
Because how do I not know that money did not come from other victims? So to me, that'd be dirty money.
Mhm.
So why would I take it back from them?
When we know
Give it.
how widespread that kind of fraud is, yes.
Oh, it's all over the place.
That's
I feel sorry for the actors that this is happening to. I feel sorry that this is happening to the musicians.
and to others
And others. It's not just
everywhere.
politicians. It's everywhere. The data breaches that happen, they get our information. I mean, how many times a Bitdefender and LifeLock and all that come up and say there's been a data breach on Google. They
Yeah.
got your social security number, they got this, they got that.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, your passport information. So I have mine all flagged that they have to show my ID.
Mhm.
And luckily, I don't look like that on that ID no more. So I've turned my ID in what I look like now. At that time, I was really overweight. So quit trying to open up accounts under my name. That's the other thing I want to put out there. It's
Pretty
not working.
widespread too, right?
Yeah. And but the thing about it is that's happening to everybody. That's not just a this kind of fraudulent behavior.
Right.
Um, you know, it's just everywhere.
Yeah, this is what evil looks like.
Right. And so as the grace of conscience ends, because we're toward the ending point,
Mhm.
I've told people in 45 years there will not be no more fish in the sea, so think about it. And why is that? Because we're going to have a new earth that will not have this kind of chaos and evil on it. So, good luck. That's all I can say. Because you didn't shut me down. You pissed me off enough to speak my truth. Just I think I've had enough. Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing that story, and more will come as we share the story through other YouTube videos, through the radio show. So thank you very much for sharing your story.
God bless everyone.